Hello, everybody. I am so glad to see you all here already. Welcome to Running with Scissors. I'm Nicole, and this is my channel, Pixel Maven's Retreat. I'm so glad to have you all here. I see all of my regulars popping in. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Share it out to all your friends while we're live so we can get all sorts of crafty folks hanging out with us and having fun with paper and ink. I am Oh, I just saw Paula's note come in. She says she's glad she saw my Facebook post because otherwise she would have missed the live. Yes, so we have moved to daylight savings time here in the US. That happened over the weekend. So if you are overseas, you might need to change the time on your calendar if this is appointment TV for you. So anyway, yes, Sue, regulars or stalkers, exactly. If you are a stalker, a lurker, as we like to say, please do say hello. I'd love to know everyone that's out there. Tell us where you're from, maybe a little bit about what your weather is like today, because we always seem to talk about that. It's kind of a universal, right? What's the weather like in your neighborhood? So anyway, I'm glad to see everyone out there today. We are mid-month already, and I've got all sorts of little announcements. Some of them are repeats, but we'll get through them real quick here and talk about upcoming stamp focus for the next 2 months because I finally got my order in from Concord and Ninth. So remember, this month we are doing the Altenew layered cupcake as our stamp focus. So we've been doing that all month, and next week will be our live virtual private workshop, which is held over a Google Meet. And so we all get to see each other face to face and chat with each other. I get to hear your voices, and it's just so awesome because when I come back here, then it's like this one-way communication, and I've got to wait for your chats to come in and everything. And it's like, I just wish I could hear you guys. Anyway, it's a ton of fun. This will be our 3rd month. We are having a great time with it. I would love to see you there. So please do consider signing up. I know it's a little late to maybe get the stamp set, but you will have access to the replay and the PDF with all the instructions. So you can just join along with us and watch everything going on and ask questions, maybe use a different stamp set. You can, there's lots of options to hang out with us while we're crafting next week if you don't have the stamp set, but you'd like to join in. I am going to be setting these up as a replay opportunity, so be on the lookout for that as well. If the middle of the day doesn't work for you, because we do these on Wednesday afternoons at about 1 o'clock US Central Time. If that time doesn't work for you, be on the lookout for the replays because I will be setting those up at a discount since you don't get to take part in the live piece of it, but you'll get everything. You'll get a replay of the private events. You'll get access to the consolidated page on my website that has all of the recordings from here on YouTube. So you don't have to search for them on YouTube. They're all right there for you with all of the supply lists and also the PDF, which is probably the most valuable thing because that's got all the instructions, the extra pictures, and the lists and all that good stuff. So that's a nice little thing to have in your little craft stash. So anyway, that is what's going on with our workshop this month. The sketch challenge, of course, goes also through Wednesday. So if you have not participated in the sketch challenge yet, do check that out. The link is down below. Hey, and I've been doing some updates to my website, and I did some changes, some big changes to like the layout and everything. And the post about the challenge and the challenge page got kind of out of sync with the images that I was featuring for sketches. So if you used ones that were up earlier this month, don't worry about it. You're still eligible to be buffering. Oh, hey, we're back. No. Maybe? I think we have something maybe going on with our internet. Let me just check. So I think we're okay at the moment. My phone was just saying something funky. Let's see. I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think it was just a little glitch maybe. Hopefully we're good. I'm hardwired into our internet now, so it must have just been a little internet glitch because we're good to go, I think. Okay. Woo! At least it's during the announcements and not during the crafty time, right? Okay, so sketch charter challenge. If you entered with different sketches for this month, don't worry about it. You're still eligible. I've got everything synced up now, so we're good to go. Okay, so let's talk about April coming up. So there is a giveaway going on right now. I have it pinned to the top, and it is for the Concord and Ninth gift certificate and a seat at our next virtual workshop. So definitely play along with the giveaway. Sign up for the giveaway and share. The more you share, the more entries you get. So you definitely want to be sharing the giveaway out there because that gives you more chances to win. Okay, so Nancy, the focus problem might have turned down to like a lower resolution rate. So click on the little gear in the lower left and change the resolution and see if that fixes it. Penny, yes, we have changed to daylight savings time. That happened this past weekend. So we are good to go. I think because I always put out a little time conversion thing for our virtual workshops. Double check that. I'm pretty sure that I set that up correctly so it would have the right time in it. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so, and that's another thing. If you are registered for the virtual workshop next week, you will start getting your emails about prepping paper and all that good stuff and getting the PDF and everything beforehand on before Wednesday. So the cut list comes out on Friday and the PDF comes out on Tuesday. All right, so hey, let's drop down to my hands here real quick. So next month, this is the stamp set that we'll be using. It's Concord and Ninth's Just Because. It's a really, really cute stamp set. And I love the dies because you have the Just Because and then like a nice scripty because, which is awesome. And remember, I talked about this last week. These images do not match up with these images. They're designed to be complementary, not coordinating. How about that? So there we go. Okay, so this is next month, but what I recommend is that if you are planning on doing next month and you're planning on doing the May class as well, we're going to be using the Concord and Ninth Turnabout Toolkit Painted Petals. So if you're going to place an order with Concord and Ninth, you may as well place it all at once and get everything that you need, right? So this is the Turnabout Toolkit. So this is for May. It's hard to keep all these months in order. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what it comes with. So the reason why I'm suggesting you get this now for April is because it comes with inks. Okay, so this is what you're going to get in your Turnabout Toolkit. I love that they put this all together in a little box. So you're going to get 4 of their colors: Grapefruit, Stardust, Aqua Sky, and Peacock. We are going to use some of these colors for the April workshop. I will give you some coordinating ones from other companies just in case, because I know a lot of you do Altenew. So I will give you coordinating colors from Altenew as well, but these are the ones we'll be using from Concord and Ninth. I love that it comes with this Easy Dots. This is what I'm always using for temporary adhesive. So this is a really great little add-on that comes with. It comes with a adhesive eraser, and I'm always using this to clean up my little extra adhesive bits all over the place. So it's nice to have this. I also cut it down into smaller pieces to work. Okay. And then it's going to come with some instructions, how to turn, so you can kind of practice a little bit. All right, it comes with the jig, which you need in order to put our cardstock on it. So like these two things come together, the adhesive dots and the jig work together for your cardstock. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And of course the stamp set. So the Painted Petals Turnabout. So it's got the turnabout piece in here, and then it's got some extras. It's got some flowers, and it's got some sentiments. And I love this concept here. So it's got this word sentiment, and it comes with the dies as well. And what you do is you stamp out all these words at once, and then you match up the die, and it's going to cut them all into separate pieces. So it's an easy way to get some sentiment strips without having to stamp a whole bunch, right? So I really, really am excited about that. It also has a stitched circle die. Yes, I love stitched circles, stitched squares, anything with stitching on it. So cute. Okay, and then some other coordinating words. hello and thank you. All right, and then it comes with white cardstock. So like really a great value on this kit. You get all of this in the Turnabout Toolkit Painted Petals. Okay, so this is for May. We're going to use this in May. So that's why I'm saying get the Turnabout Toolkit and get the get your Just Because stamp and die set. All right, and then the last thing as well, and I totally forgot to pull it out because I have the paper separately, but there's also a coordinating paper pack that has the grapefruit cardstock, Stardust, Aqua Sky, and Peacock, and some white in it. So there is a Painted Petals cardstock pack that you can get as well. But again, I will try to come up with some additional like coordinating things just in case you don't want to. If you want to use what you already have, I will try to get you some colors that are similar so that way you can party on with us, or you can use your own colors, right? Because everything that we do, it's not necessarily color dependent, right? So if you want to do it in different colors, go ahead and do it in different colors. Okay. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to hop over to, because I had the Conquer the Ninth site open. So let me pop over here real quick. Okay, so just so you can see like the real thing here. Okay, so here's the Just Because bundle. This is for the April class. All right, and then for May, here is the Turnabout Toolkit, Painted Petals Turnabout Toolkit, and everything that we just went through. And let me show you the pictures here. See, you're going to stamp 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and we can do different colors and come up with really cool combinations. They also, I love the way that they show you how everything works here. So you can really see everything that your kit can do. Super, super awesome. A couple little samples on their page. Fabulous. And then this is the coordinating paper. You get 3 sheets of each of the colors. Okay, so that way you don't have to buy a full pack of each of the colors. You can get 3 of each. All right, plus some white in there. Okay, so that is that. I also wanted to show you guys, yay, my new and improved blog. I changed some themes and some layouts and everything. So this is the new homepage, and I wanted to make it more obvious where I had affiliate links, which, as you know, I have affiliate links everywhere. But on my homepage now, actually in the sidebar, I have a listing of all my upcoming live broadcasts with links so you can know when I'm going to be live. All right, everything is in US Central Time. And then down here, I have like my full listing of all my affiliate links. So this makes it really easy for you to get to any of the companies that I really like and that I support and that I have an affiliate with. All right. So there is all of that. And then I also wanted to show you guys, Facebook just changed something about their business pages, and which made me really sad because I was using that to show offers during the week, and I wasn't really, it was easier for me to post them there during the week, but I found a really great tool that's going to allow me to add in all of the current specials, and these are going to actually like change out or go away when they're not valid anymore. So when you go to my website and you go to the crafty sales, I would bookmark this page because I'm now going to be able to keep this up to date with all of the companies that I support. And as I get information about sales and giveaways and freebies and things like that, I'm going to be able to add in the advertisement here. So this advertisement, you're only going to see this through today. Tomorrow, this won't be here anymore. There will be either a new advertisement or nothing. So if I have a new ad for a company like Altenew has new stuff throughout the week, like 3 or 4 times a week even, they have specials and things like that. They change out a lot. This will always be current because I will be able to update that super easy for you guys. All right. Conquer the Ninth doesn't have anything right now, so there's nothing there. A Cherry on Top is having a sale right now, 20% on everything, and there's a little code there, but if you click on it, it'll take you right to a Cherry on Top, and that's affiliate linked for me. And then I've got, let's see, Honeybee Stamps. They've got a special going on right now. And then Dick Blick also has a special. So I'm going to keep adding on to this the companies that I have, because as you can see, I have a lot of companies here. So I will add in some more of these, especially ones that tend to have more sales than others. And that'll be a really great place for you guys to go for sale information and also to support me with using affiliate links. All right. So let's see. Questions? You guys got any questions? You can always ask me about any of that affiliate stuff or, you know, whatever. I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Let's see. Penny got a good value. Yeah, I think that kit is a very, very good value. Hey, Roberta, good to see you. Glad you joined us. Nancy is going to place her order today. Yay. So that's awesome. Let's see. Becca, so did you find it? Excellent. The safe place. Yes. I wondered what you guys were talking about. That's so funny. Crack me up. Okay, so hey, let's take a look at some cards that you guys created last week. Okay, so first up is Joni. She created a beautiful card based on last week's project. And she and I talked about this little flower arrangement here. She meant for it to be kind of nestled up underneath the cupcake. And she said, oh, I didn't even realize that it slipped. So I'm sure she's fixed it since now, but she did a great job. I love the metallic watercolors that she did on this. And she's got the little dots going on and beautiful flowers. Nice. They look really good together, nice and coordinated. Okay, and so then we have Berta. She also created a project based on last week's project. She picked out some of her own flowers and did a really great job. I like the blue. That's really, really nice. Let's see. She said she used her Ganzi Tambi metallic watercolors. Yeah, so there's a ton of different watercolors that are metallics out there. So yeah, of course, use what you have. It's fabulous. Excellent work. Okay, and then Penny went crazy. She had a couple of weeks to catch up on. So we've got, this is from 2 weeks ago, the acetate one. And she did a really good job. I see some second generation stamping here with the chocolate, and that looks fabulous. Absolutely awesome. And then she did a feminine version as well. I love the embossing folder in the background. That's really great. That's one of the 3D embossing folders from Altenew, and I think it looks excellent. And she stamped the sentiment right on there. So that looks really great. Let's see. And then we had some of her newer ones from last week. So, oh, she had the Bergenias. That looks fabulous. I like that one. And then she also created an alternate look, which I really love. I love the work that you did on these flowers. This is from the Wild and Free stamp set. And I think those look absolutely stunning. I love the way that you coordinated that all the way across. I think that looks really, really great. But here's the funny thing. So you did that. And then, so here's our winner from last week. This is Becca's. She used the same flowers that Penny used. These are from the Wild and Free stamp set. And I think that's really great. She had a different cupcake, which is awesome. But she did excellent work. So, and Becca was the first person to submit a project last week that was tagged to me. So she will win last week's card. And I will pop that in the mail to her. And she will get that next month. Because I save them all until the end of the month, make sure that I'm done with them, and then I pop them all into the mail. All right. Excellent. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, cool. So Berta says that she used Heidi Swap's gold spray used as the paint, which I think is a really awesome way, again, to use what you have to make the same kind of look. Okay, so guys, let's talk about today's project. Down to the hands. Here we go. Okay, so today we're doing a gift card slimline, and here it is. Totally different look from the same stamp set, right? Because we're not using any of the detail bits on it. We're just going to use the solid pieces, and we're going to do a faux watercolor with this. All right, so here's the cool thing. It's a little slimline gift card holder. So it'll hold a check, or it'll hold some cash, or it'll even hold, you know, just a regular gift card if you want. But this is kind of nice for, like if you're writing a check to somebody, that'll work out nice. Who writes checks anymore? I mean, except for gifts. I guess I do write those. Okay. So I have a piece of watercolor cardstock here. And we're not going to do any die cutting today. We just need stamps. I do have my heat tool out just in case we need to do some drying along the way. Okay, so some other tools I have out. I've got some water and a brush. I have my 4 inks. So we're going to use inks today, not watercolors. And this makes a difference too, because like you're going to find out with the charcoal suit, this breaks. I call it breaking. Some people call it shattering, especially with like Copic markers and stuff. Like if the color breaks up into its constituent parts, that's why I call it breaking up. So charcoal suit has some constituent colors in it. So let's see, we're going to use it down here like at the bottom. And you can see how that got kind of like green and pinkish. That's because that's what this charcoal suit is made up of. It's made up of like greens and reds and things to make it a gray color. It's not like a solid CMYK black. Okay, it's made up of different colors in order to make it black. So sometimes that's a good thing to know, is that when you're using stamps, they might break up a little bit. But today we're okay with any of that might happen. But these 3 actually aren't going to break up, just the charcoal suit. Okay, so we're going to use our inks, and I've got my watercolor paper. And I'm just going to pop that down here in place. I'm trying to be careful because I've got this heat gun over here and I have water over here, and I like do not want them to mix, obviously. So anyway, and then I've got my Distress sprayer. So this is just a regular water mister, and I really like it because it'll do a thin mist, but you can also, if you pull the trigger slowly, you can get some nice thicker, like bigger water droplets, which works really well too. Okay, and I need to get my rack. So we are going to build this cupcake scene. And as you can see, there's a couple in the background here. So what I'm going to do is focus on these 3 first, and then add these 2 in the back, because we need to do a little bit of masking along the way. What's an alternative for charcoal suit? Really any gray. Any of the gray inks themselves are going to shatter in one way or another. If you're using a watercolor brush, you can, use any of the grays or blacks that you might have in a watercolor brush, or just a regular watercolor. You can do a regular watercolor with this technique as well. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the foil piece, the little cupcake tin. All right, remember, we're not doing any detail bits, so we're going to use this solid piece and this solid piece and this solid piece right here. Okay, so that's all we're going to use today. All right, so I'm going to start off with the bottom because it's this dark blue color. Okay, so I'm doing it up in Desert Night, and I just need to put a little bit of ink on there. Did you see how little ink I put on there? See, not much. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is spray it. And now it's like watercolor. Okay, so that's what the technique is. We don't want to spray it so much that it's like dripping all over the place. So usually 1 misty spritz, maybe 2 is enough. All right, because you want it to be able to hang out on that stamp. You don't want it to be like dripping all over the place. All right, so once it's got a little bit of spray on there, I'm gonna go ahead and push it down. You want it to smush a little bit. Just give it a second or 2 to soak into the paper. So this is a wet to dry technique. The paper itself is dry. Okay, and then lift. Now here's the cool thing. You're gonna get like a little puddle of water, right? So awesome. That's gonna dry that way. All right, so you do need a rag or something to wipe off as you go, because you're gonna keep moving your stamps. Oh, excuse me, my eye itches. It's allergy season for sure. Oh my gosh. All right, so now I'm going to add in my second cupcake. Now, when I created this card, I wasn't really thinking about the layout, so it's kind of backwards, where you've got like the sentiments over on the left. Normally, like for some reason, we always put the sentiment on the right. I mean, I think it looks good this way, but if you want to flip it around, it's just kind of depends on like where you space all of your different cupcakes. All right, So I'm popping in the second one, and I'm not concerned about them all being in a straight line. All right, so you'll see that in a second here. So here's my first one. You see how the second one is kind of down a little bit lower? That's okay. All right, so again, not inking that up all the way. One spray, maybe two, just enough to get that ink moving. Push it down gently. You don't want to smush it because it's going to go all over the place. Yeah, I'm using watercolor penny. All right, so I just wanted to sit here for a second, soak into the paper a little bit. I'm going to pick it up. And look, I'm going to get like another little spot there. Totally cool. So kind of boring because we're going to keep doing this over and over again, but you're going to get to see it like a million times. You'd be an expert at it by the time we are done. Okay, so third cupcake. I could do it really down low. I could do it up high. Remember, I'm going to put a couple behind. So I'm going to keep this one down kind of low. I want a little bit of space in between because I am going to put some in between. Okay, so there we go. So kind of high, kind of middle, kind of low. Again, pop some Desert Night on there. You can do this with any color you want, right? So if you wanted to have pink tins, you could. If you wanted to have yellow or orange, you know, whatever, right? I am going to mask, but you need to wait for a couple of these to dry. Okay, so pop this up and look, ooh, do you see that? That's going to be really cool. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about masking. Okay. This is kind of loose masking. I have these masks. I basically was like, I didn't even really stamp them on here. I was just like, what's the general shape? And I basically cut out just like a rando general shape, especially because this is going to be watercolored. All right, so this is still a little bit wet down here. So this is where I said you might want to just hit it with your heat gun. The problem with the heat gun, though, is that, of course, your paper can warp. See how it just started to warp a little bit? So you just kind of need to be careful about that. Okay, so this I'm going to pop on in place. It doesn't need to be perfect, all right? But I'm going to put one right behind there. Okay, so now you can see how that's going to mask. Same process. All right. I'm focusing my pressure over on the left side here, not so much on the right where the mask is. And then lift this up. So this is just paper, so I want to make sure that I'm lifting up my mask right away. All right, so see, look, I've got a little masked cupcake. So now I'm going to do that again over here. And actually, what I will do is maybe just there. Just got rid of the rest of that little blob. As you can see, I've used these masks before for other projects. All right, and then I need actually another mask here because I'm going to put this cupcake in between. Okay, these masks have been used so much they have like fuzz on them from falling on the floor and all sorts of things. Okay, so this guy's going to go, like, say, right here. All right, so you see how it's masked on the left and the right. Get back on there. It just didn't stick to my Misty. Oh, you know why? Because it's wet. Hey, there we go. Okay. So that's going to go there. So I'm only going to put a little bit of ink in the center because it doesn't need to go on the left and right. So that's another way to kind of keep extra ink from smushing onto your other cupcakes. All right, so just focusing my pressure in the center here. Lift up. All right, so remember, this is a watercolor, a very loose watercolor. So it's going to maybe look a little imperfect, and that's totally okay. Okay, so there we go. That is what it looks like with all of my little cupcake bottoms in place. All right, so next I'm going to move on to our cupcake centers. And there's really not a lot of little zigzaggies to put these in place, right? So it's really just got to be kind of an eyeball job. And again, it's a very loose impressionistic watercolor, if you will. So it's not going to look perfect, and that's okay. So I'm going to do this in Hazelnut, same process. This one, I might put a little bit more Hazelnut on the stamp because it's a lighter color, right? So spray that once just to make it loose. And there we go. Just lift it up and let it go. Okay. So the hard thing about doing this on camera with you guys is, actually, I guess I could do it this way. Now that you understand it, just know that we're sideways now, okay? This will make it a little easier. So again, line up my little bit of cupcake. Hazelnut ink. You don't have to make these all matchy-matchy either. Say you want to have some hazelnut, say you want to have some chocolate. You could totally mix and match your centers here, turn them into all sorts of different flavored cupcakes. All right, one thing you are going to want to be careful about is this touching the blue. If it gets too close and your blue isn't quite dry, they might bleed into each other. Okay, so that's a pitfall you might run into. So you want to make sure that your blue is dry, and then you want to make sure that you're not overlapping your cupcake color into the blue, because it'll reactivate it like that one just did there. And you might get a little bit of color that you don't want. If you can pick it up with your rag or paper towel or something to save it, great. If not, that's when you want to come in with your brush and some water and try to pick up that color and rescue it. Okay, so we're back into masking territory. And I wouldn't necessarily have to mask this, but I know that if I don't, when I put the pink cupcake, the frosting on top, this little area here might turn orange, and that might ruin the look for me. Okay, so masking is a good idea. Mask up, people. And again, if you want, you can wipe away a little bit over so that it doesn't saturate into your mask. All right, same. There we go. Actually, this stays right here. And I need another mask over there. And this guy's going to go here. Hi ho, the dare yo. I'm asking we will go. All right. So guess what we do next? 3 guesses. Actually, I'm not even giving you 3 guesses because this is so simple. All right, we are into the frosting. Pop that bend. And are you noticing that this is long enough that once I get to the end here, this beginning one is pretty much dry. So you can see that it's not a whole lot of water. Otherwise, this would just be a sloppy mess. So for the frosting, I'm going to do it in Rouge. So like a nice little, maybe it's a pink peppercorn frosting. Since this is a watercolor and like high class, we can have peppercorn frosting. All right, so like the bottom here, I'm going to just let this rest for a second and soak into the paper. And then lift it. And I'm going to get like a little pool of water. And that's cool. That's super cool. All right. So next we'll go here. Cool thing about this, I mean, like I'm setting this up exactly the way that I did the sample, but you could organize your cupcakes differently and come up with a different look. Like I said, you can use different colors, all sorts of things that you can do to make this whole thing look different. If you did it not as a slimline, but as a regular A2 size card, you're going to get a different look again. All sorts of ways that you can make this look really awesome. Now, what if you don't have the stamp set? Find a layering stamp set that has solid images like this and do the same thing. If it's flowers, if it's geometrics, you can do the same kind of faux watercolor with any solid stamp. Right. The hardest color that I did by far is the blue because it is just so dark that it's just, you can get it really dark really fast. Okay, back to masking. All right, so we will mask this guy off. And pop him on. Yes, this is watercolor cardstock. Otherwise, it wouldn't dry so fast, right? So this is just a piece of watercolor card that I have cut down to 3.5 by 8.5. I don't think I actually mentioned that at the beginning. I was just like, hey, I've got watercolor paper. Let's go. Okay, and then need to mask here. I don't think I'll be able to keep my magnet there. That's okay. Really don't need to hold those down with a magnet because once you have it pressed down, you're just going to lift it up anyway. All right, so this, you're actually going to see more of the frosting on this little one back here. So I am just going to ink it up all the way. There we go. There. Okay. That's it. That's it for the misty stuff. Now, you see how there's like a lot of extra space here? If I want to fix that up a little bit, and I didn't bring over a anything to get ink on. So if I want to fix this up a little bit here, I certainly can. So without a palette, I'll use a block here. And that's what I've got my brush here for. I can come back in. And just kind of fill it in if I want. It's going to reactivate the blue underneath, so it'll blend together pretty well. And it's okay if you get like that little hard line, because look, we've got these little hard lines everywhere, right? So if you do a little touch-up work, it's not going to make a difference. No one's really going to notice. All right. And then I definitely need some of the rouge. I'm going to get this over a little further. There we go. cupcakes. A whole pile of them. Sue, I did it just for you. I filled in that cupcake just for you. Okay, so here we go. This is looking pretty good. Oh, actually. So now here we go with the charcoal suit. And let me leave this under here so you can see what I got going on here. So charcoal suit, like I said, this is going to shatter, fracture, break, whatever you want to call it, into some different colors. Let me show you that. So let me get a little bit of water on here. And can you see how it's kind of starting to turn colors? So then I'm going to take just a piece of plain watercolor cardstock. And show you what happened. Do you see that? It's pink. It's pink and it's green. All right. That's what happens to black and gray and brown inks when you try to watercolor with them. A lot of times, 99% of the time, this is what's going to happen. They're going to shatter or break or fracture, whatever you want to call it. And when this dries, and it's really beautiful. So when this dries, it's like this pinkish, greenish look that I think is gorgeous, but you have to know that that is what's going to happen. So you don't want to do that on accident. If you want something to be black or gray, you definitely need to use watercolor, something that is specifically watercolor. So either a watercolor brush or watercolor in a tube or watercolor pans that are black or gray, or you need to test out your inks like this before you try to use them for watercolor. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. But if this isn't the look you're going for, you're not going to be very happy. Okay. So I'm going to start off with some hazelnut because basically these cupcakes are floating right now. We don't want them to float. I'm going to really water this down. Really, really water it down. And I'm going to make a table. I'm not going to touch the blue because it will turn green. It will activate and turn green, and then you're going to be really sad. All right, so just kind of eyeballing my, if I really wanted to be persnickety about it, I would be bringing out my ruler, making sure that my table isn't going like this. Or I can use my my mat here and say, okay, I guess I'm going up to this line here. So this needs to come up just a little higher. And this needs to come up a whole square. There we go. That works too. Okay, so you can't really see that so much. It is just a little line right here. Why am I doing the yellow before the gray? Because the gray is just for a shadow, and I didn't want the shadow to spread everywhere. So if I put the gray down first, this dark color, it would spread everywhere, right? So the yellow is like the table. This gray green pink is about to be shadow. Okay, so again, watering this down a lot because you can always add more, right? And then I'm just going to go under each cupcake a little bit, right? So I want to have that detail. See the detail there of the gray. If I put that down first and then I put the yellow over it, it would wash it out. Or if the gray was too dark, then it would just kind of let it blend everywhere, and I don't want that either. So that's why I'm doing this, just this little shadowy bit last. I don't think I did a great job on my sample card, so I'm trying to do a little bit of redemption here. Some of it was just a little bit of an afterthought when I did it the first time. Okay. So yeah, so put in your table line first, your table, everything, and then work in your shadow afterwards. If you want to add a little bit more. Now here's where the cool thing is going to happen is as I'm adding in a little bit more, what it's doing is it's lifting the green and it's leaving that pink behind. So now I'm going to get that kind of funky two-tone look because I'm using this dye ink for watercolor. All right, there we go. Super, super awesome. Okay, so let's let this dry for a minute. Oh, here, so check that out. Now that it's dry, like especially now that it's darker, look at that. The pink and the green. So that's your charcoal suit shattered. So awesome. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is just a really cool effect. It almost looks like it's like copper patina. Very, very cool. But like I said, you got to know that it's going to happen. All right, so bring my water so we don't mess anything up. Let's get a sentiment on this. So we decided Cupcake's birthday. Yeah. So we're going to use one of the sentiments from here. This month I've used just a lot of this stamp set, haven't I? Like I haven't branched out into using other sentiments and things like that. It's just a really great all-around set. Very, very useful. There's a thank you in here. So, you know, if you wanted to send somebody a few cupcakes as a thank you, you could totally do that, right? So I'm going to, I'm done with that too. I've got just a little sentiment strip here. So I'll pop that in my Misty, like I know. I knew the magnet was here somewhere. And you could totally do this in black. Heat embossed would be really great too. I'm just going to do it in the Desert Night because this is a great color. This color. There we go. Easy. Awesome. All right. So we've got that and that. Let's do some spritz on here. Yeah, so I can't always stick to the one stamp set because it doesn't have like sentiments in it or whatever. So of course you've got to add in other products and things. But at the same time, like it's really nice to be able to do something like this where I'm showing you how to do all sorts of different things with a single stamp set and we're not adding anything else to it. Lots of that going on this month. Next month will be very similar. Okay, so I've got the iridescent ink spray and I'm going to add in some spatter from that. I don't know how much you will be able to see of this on screen. Okay, so one thing to know as well, ink sprays like this are water-based. This is all water-based, so it will reactivate your paint and leave like little water spots and things like that. But that was kind of the look I'm going for. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Set it aside for a moment and let me grab my score tool so I can show you how to make this into a gift card. All right, so again, this time we got to use the big score tool. The little one just won't cut it. All right, so here is my piece. This is my card base. It is cut to 8.5. What I have is I have it cut to 8 by 8.5. So normally a slimline card is 7 by 8.5. I was looking for my scoring tool and it's like right here. Okay, so normally a piece for your slimline would be 7 inches by 8.5. Okay, so I've got my 8.5 here because I need to score my lines this way. So my first score is going to be at 3.5 because that's your half of 7. So 3.5. All right, and then I need to make my little pocket. So my pocket is going to be at the 7-inch mark because that's where I want it to fold, and that's the bottom of my card. So I don't know what I just did there. Apparently I did some kind of funky score because I couldn't see. All right, so there you go. Here's your, this is at 3.5, and this one down here, don't mind this little extra. It should be at 7. Whoops. That's what happens when you have like all these bright lights in your face, guys. Okay, so a little bit of double-sided adhesive, just the little 1/4-inch stuff. This is just like that gift card folder we made a couple of weeks ago with the acetate, except, well, this one doesn't have acetate. All right. So 2 little bits on the end there. And actually, I'm going to fold this up first so that I get a good fold because it's cardstock. That'll help me get rid of that extra little bit of fold that I, or that extra little bit that I had from the score tool. Flatten that right out. Okay, so pop. There we go. All right, I'm gonna fold it from the center out so that I don't get like an extra little pouch here, and I get it all the way to the edge, all the way to the edge. Nice little press. Now I have my pocket. All right, super simple for your slimline card. And then we can fold it over and score. Okay. So there you go, slimline gift card holder. Totally awesome. Okay, so this is not dry yet. The iridescent spray likes to take a while to dry. I don't know why, but it does. So let me just zap this a second. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the back so that it flattens out a little bit. So the fibers in your paper, when you're heat setting things like that, it likes to curl in, right? So if you hit it on the back a little bit, that's going to help it flatten out. And then I can just do a little bit of this. Now, if I really don't think it's going to sit on here flat after I glue it in place, I can use a piece of double-sided adhesive sheet. And I think I'm going to do that. So let's grab some. What do I have today? So both Altenew and scrapbook.com. Oh, come on. Here we go. Okay, so both Altenew and scrapbook.com have double-sided adhesive sheets. And they both work equally well. So you can pick your poison. I always cut it slightly smaller than the piece that I'm working with. So this piece is 3.5 by 8.5. So I have this cut down to 3 3/8 by 8 3/8. All right. And then, so now that I've got it on there nice and smooth in place, again, I'm going to just peel back a little bit to reveal the stickiness. This is the this is the most important part, right? Because it's got to go onto the card base square. So I'm going to match it up in the corner here, follow it down to the edge. And then just make sure that it's going to come across, and it is. And then I lift it up and I grab my little tail here that I made for myself and carefully bring it across and press as I go. There we go. All right, so you see it's still a little wonky, but now I know that it's stuck down to my card base like perfectly. So I could stick this underneath something heavy, flip it over so it's nice and flat, stick it under something heavy, and it will flatten out. It will totally flatten out. Thank you, Joni. Thank you. I have lots of practice. I do this a lot. So that's definitely a case of practice making perfect with that. All right. So once you've got this on your card base, you can add some extra little goodies. If it's wonky like this, you're definitely going to want to let it lay flat first. And then you can add on all of your extra little bits and pieces. So I left my extra space on this one on the other side. I don't think I did that. Yeah. So on my original here, see how I left the extra space here? On this one, I left it here. So to my eye, it makes more sense for it to come all the way over here. All right, which is fine. It looks good. All right, so I'm not actually going to stick this on because I do want to flatten my card a little bit. But I would put on my double-sided foam strips. And pop that on right there. And then you can go ahead and add in some sequins. I've got, just a couple little sequins. This one I put a lot more splatter on. You can see all of that splatter. I even did some pink splatter on. This one I left a little bit more plain. Okay, so you could do some rouge splatter if you wanted to, or just add in some sequins. I think I'm going to go a little bit more conservative with the sequins even on this one, and just do my typical trio. I'm almost out of the sequence. This is the Gin and Tonic sequence from Picket Fence. I love the iridescence in here. Like, I think this is my last little iridescent saucer. Okay, so you never know where to put sequins. Let me help you. Okay, so I'm going to do a little trio placement. Okay, so here is my sentiment strip. This is a great placement concept. Oh, I pulled off the wrong bit. Hang on a second here. Have you ever done that before? Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So when you have your sentiment strip to do, yes, think a triangle. So I'm going to do a sequence like here, and then here, and then I'm going to do one underneath like over here. Okay, so a large-ish sequence always pairs well with a small sequence. So there's these like small saucers that don't have the holes in the middle. Okay, I'm going to move my sentiment out of the way. All right, so 1, 2, and then normally I would put like a medium-sized sequence here in the little opposite space, but I don't know. I don't know if I have any. I'll just put a contrasting one down there. Or not. It just flung across the room. Here, I'll just put this one down here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then with the sentiment strip in there, it breaks those up. And that is like perfect placement, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you're using a sentiment strip, try this out and I don't think you'll ever go wrong. All right. As far as these guys are concerned, I kind of went crazy with them. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got like some seed bead bits in there and all sorts of different things. So this one is just kind of a little different, like that one that we did, that slimline we did last month that was tall with the hooray on it. I did a lot more sequins with that, but this is just classic, clean, perfect looking. Okay, so this one is like a lot more basic. This one's got some extra going on. Either way, it looks fabulous. And of course, both ways, you've got your little gift card holder. So there we go, guys. All right, so let's see, what other questions can I answer here before we finish up today? Let me go back to this view. That way you can see the cards and see my face. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Cece, if they were real cupcakes, you would eat the left one because it looks lonely. I would just eat all of them. I mean, really? A herd of cupcakes is meant to be eaten for sure. Okay, let's see. Kate says she's going to be ordering the stamp set. Yeah, you know what? It's the fonts on this set are very Art Deco, right? So the suite has like a little bit of a the shadow on it. The Life is Better with Cupcakes has the shadow. Yeah, it's got a very Art Deco look to it, and I really, really do like it. Yeah, so guys, I wanted to show you something completely different from all the other projects that we had done. Oh no, Kate, you're gonna have to people are gonna watch this replay and be like, oh no, what happened? So Kate just told me that it is sold out. Is it sold? I don't think they have it at scrapbook.com. I think they only have it at Altenew right now. Well, you have to get on the notification list for when it comes back. So just pop in your email and they'll send you an email when it comes back in stock. You know, it was out of stock for quite a while. And so I had to wait to do this class until it came back in stock. I'm surprised that it's gone already. Maybe everybody on the live bought it. Am I going to use the circles? Yes, I am going to use the circles for in our workshop next week. We are going to use the circles. So it'll be an interesting look. I think you'll like it. So there we go. Okay, guys, we are just past 5 o'clock. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see some of you on Wednesday next week at our Stamp Focus workshop. And then I will see all the rest of you. We'll see all the rest of you next Thursday here for our last running of scissors with this stamp set. So, Paula, yeah, cherries, put some cherries on the top. Exactly. Definitely. Kate, you know what? I will look around and see if I can find any other stores that maybe have it and let you know if I can find one. But anyway, I'm so glad that you guys joined me today, and I will see you soon. I will see you next week, one way or the other. So thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to use my affiliate links to give me a big thanks for providing you with this content today. I really do enjoy spending time with you guys, and I will see you soon. Have a great crafty weekend. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully it will be calm and beautiful in your neck of the woods. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.